Hi, my name is Arian Valerie Albenico, an HR major student from Universidad de Santa Isabel, Naga City, and the topic that I will be presenting today is about consumer culture and behavior. Beginning with, of course, defining what is consumer culture. Consumer culture is a culture where social status, values, and activities are centered on the purchase and consumption of goods and services. In other words, in consumer culture, a large part of what you do and what you value and how are you defined revolves around the buying and consuming of things. In other words, much of what a person does, what they value, and how they are defined in consumer culture has to do with their spending, as I've said a while ago. From an economic perspective, popular culture is viewed as a set of capitalist production processes driven by the motive of profit and selling to consumers. So now, who is the consumer, by the way? Any individual who purchases products or services for his personal use and not for manufacturing or resale is called a consumer. Consumer is one who is the decision maker whether or not to buy an item at the store or someone who is influenced by advertisement and marketing. Now, what is consumer behavior? Consumer behavior is the study of how people make decisions about what they buy, what they want, what they need or act in regards to a product, service, or company they purchase their product. It is critical to understand consumer behavior to know how potential customers will respond to a new product or service. It also helps companies identify opportunities that are not currently met. What are the types of consumer behavior? We have four, beginning with complex buying behavior. Complex buying behavior, such behavior is applied in case of the product which is expensive, seldom purchased, self-expressive, high risk, and one-time investment. Second is dissonance reducing buying behavior. Here, when the product is expensive, less frequently purchased, and high in risk, there will be dissatisfaction. And dissatisfaction may take place when the consumer is concerned that he or she might regret a decision when the consumer finds out that the same product offered by other brands is better in terms of quality and durability. Third one is habitual buying behavior. Here, when the product is economical and bought frequently, but the consumer has less involvement as to which brand of the product he or she is buying, so there's not much consideration involved before taking the buying decision, as it is purely based on brand familiarity and availability. And lastly, we have the variety-seeking buying behavior, when the buyer switches between brands, not because of the dissatisfaction with the previous purchase, but out of variation. They want to try something new and avoid their boredom. So, factors that influence our consumer behavior, we have five: psychological factors, social factors, cultural factors, personal factors, and economic factors. In psychological factor, we have our perception to a certain product or what we know about the product that we will be purchasing, our attitudes and beliefs, and many more as well. That's psychological factors. Also, with social factors, the role that our family and friends, the way they impact our purchasing behavior is one factor too, under social factors. Third is cultural factors. As for cultural factors, example of this is our culture, as it influences us by basically the values, preferences that we observed and absorb from our families or the people around us. With personal factors, on the other hand, if you're a teenager, for example, you'll obviously buy some trendy things and stuff that you see online. As with the elders, they'll more think about their healthcare, their insurance, the prescription drugs that they use every day, that they take every day. That's personal factor. Lastly, we have economic factors. We have personal family income, consumer credit, and other factors as well. Because a strong, healthy economy brings your confidence to your purchasing behavior. Because when an economy is weak, purchasing power and unemployment is also weakened. We have now the impact of COVID-19 on buying behavior, on our buying behavior. First one is hoarding. Due to COVID-19, consumers, most especially in the beginning of the pandemic, consumers stockpile necessary products they need, such as alcohol, food, toiletries, and other products as well. It resulted to temporary shortage of products. With improvisation being the number two, consumers now has more knowledge and creativity. For example, If before classes are usually face-to-face, right? Today, students can learn virtually through app like Google Meet or Zooms that we use. And guess what? Learning virtually is proven effective. Third one is pent-up demand. Um, Demand on certain products like phones, laptops that are being used in virtual learning, and also home essentials, automobiles, rises. Because of this, households have reactivated the level of their consumption. Fourth one is embracing digital technology. Consumers, teenagers, and or even elderly people has adopted the several technologies and apps that we often use today to keep in touch with a family member, let's say through video chatting, call, group chats, and others. And fifth, store comes home. The birth of online shopping is mas nangibabaw pa for consumers more consumers were unable to go to markets due to the COVID-19 setup. They were not unable to go to markets, grocery store where they usually buy food. That's why online shopping, the demand for online shopping rises. 6, exploring off work-life boundaries. Our homes became our homes become more efficient and effective. Kung dati, we treat our home as we relax lang, parang ganon. Ngayon, at home, we can also work, right? Lots of people, since pandemic hits, they start to work at home. 7, reunion with friends and families. Through the pandemic, through COVID-19, mas naging malapit pa. Mas nagkaroon pa ng bond sa mga family natin. Tayo sa mga family natin, right? Kasi mas usually tayo nasa loob ng bahay natin. Lahat tayo magkakasama, kaya mas na-strengthen pa yung bond. And 8 one is discovery of talent. With having more time at home, consumers learn and discover new talent that they have, such as marunong pala silang o natutunan nilang gumamit ng instrument. And na-discover nila na marunong pala sila, magaling pala sila lumuto. They learn how to cook and others. And also with the influence of social media like YouTube, mas madali na yung taong nakaka-grasp and absorb ng learnings. Kaya marami na ding natututunan ng mga talent ngayon. So, that's all. Thank you!